don't do. Catch it cause I'm so soon. I can't make no mistakes, cause there is just no room. Guess I was made like crutches, strong enough to hold you, strong enough to carry, but I can't think for you. I can give no input, only what I put in. Tired when I can't be, tired of my foot in, but I can't fall. Tired of my foot in, I want better for you, but I can't fall. I can only hold back. I want better for you, you want better also. I can only hold back. Cause we in a cycle, you want better also. Cause we in a cycle. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday to everyone. Hello. This is one of the biggest conversations that I wanted to have. I had an expert that's still supposed to be coming, okay? She just couldn't make it. She had some issues come up. And until she comes up, I'm gonna lead this conversation because I feel like this is one of those conversations that have multi layers. So this conversation is gonna be multi layered. I've already dropped the link if anybody wants to come up. We're gonna have a big conversation on what is trust, and so this is just part one of it, okay? Because let me tell you something. Trust comes in so many different ways. It's so big. It's not one of those stories that can be just thrown out there and told and then just done. Okay. So I see all y'all coming in. Good Sunday to all of you. Thank you for coming. Hi, Miss Wilson. Hi, Chanel. Hi, Wayne. Thank you for coming. Okay. So I'm gonna start off this live as I usually do with my Bible verse for this live. I try to keep everything really professional. I try to do it the way I feel like, God is leading me to do it. So I try to keep it cute, you know what I'm saying? What I want to do is, here's my thing with this trust issue. I want to show you that trust is not something you should just easily give away to somebody. But in order to learn about trust, I have to also tell you some things about yourself. And to learn yourself, to learn who we giving trust to and why we're giving that trust to them. Because trust should be something that somebody earns, okay? It should never just be given away freely. Let the people earn it because you get hurt a lot of times giving trust to somebody who doesn't deserve it. So trust is multifaceted. And because it's so multifaceted and because it has so many different elements, trust, if you ask 10 different people what was the true definition of trust, they will come up with 10 different definitions of the word trust. And I know this to be true because, like I said, it's multifaceted and people take trust differently. But the actual definition for trust is firm belief in reliability, truth, ability, and strength of someone or something. Relations have to be built on trust. Believing in the believing in the reliability, truth, ability, and strength of. Allowing credit to. Okay, so as you can see, trust is so vague, it's so multifaceted that it's different levels of it. Okay. So, what I want to show you, the first thing I want to show you, I want to see, pull this screen up and show you this. Okay.
Scottish author and clergyman George MacDonald once observed, "To be trusted is a greater compliment than being loved." I don't know about you, but I agree with that sentiment. Being trustworthy is an essential part of my self-concept. Sure, I want to be loved, but to be known as someone you can count on is even more important to me. And if you think about it, love is built on trust. Virtually every communication and business management textbook I've ever read extols the virtues of trust in relationships, whether those relationships be romantic, friendship, familial, or workplace. But rarely do they devote more than a couple of paragraphs to the concept. Why? It's likely because trusting and being trustworthy can be hard, and hard to define. That's what this video will focus on, a discussion of what trust is, including the elements of trust, why trust is important, and two different types of trust. One way to look at trust is to consider the elements or behaviors that contribute to the concept of trust. Intent to do well by others, but intent by itself is not enough. Character, being honest, sincere, and behaving with integrity. Transparency, arguably this is related to character. You are open in your communication with others and are not operating with hidden agendas. Competence, or capabilities, your ability to do things. Reliability and consistency, keeping your promises, meeting your obligations. Notice that in this view, all must be combined and overlap. Let's take a different approach, as suggested by social psychologist Morton Deutsch. Realize that trust involves some level of risk, and that risk has consequences, which can pay off in harmful or beneficial ways. And if we were to diagram this, there is an expectation that there is more to be lost from the harmful consequences than will be gained from the beneficial consequences. You recognize that those consequences, beneficial or harmful, are dependent on the actions of the other person. You will trust when you are confident that the other person will behave so that beneficial consequences result.
Let's consider a few examples. Many parents, myself included, went through agonizing times when their children learned to drive. Even now, just thinking about it causes my heart to race. But having another driver in the house definitely has major benefits. However, the scary thoughts of accidents often push those benefits to the side. Much more to be lost if these harmful consequences were to come to pass than would be gained by the benefits. So we do what we can do to increase our confidence that will allow us to trust that the new driver will behave in a way that will result in those positive consequences. Another example, say you were thinking about disclosing something personal to a friend. This self-disclosure could have the benefit of deepening your friendship, but you are also running a risk of being ridiculed or having that information used against you in the future. You're not likely going to self-disclose until you are relatively sure that your friend will respond positively. Okay, so now we know that trust refers to the general belief that people can rely on each other. Why is trust important? On an interpersonal level, we need to feel physically and emotionally safe. We have to feel like we can be who we truly are with someone. It's exhausting to put up a front all the time. When people trust each other, they are more willing to openly express their thoughts, feelings, reactions, opinions, information, and ideas. When trust level is low, people tend to be evasive, dishonest, and inconsiderate in their communication. On a task-related level, we have to be able to count on others to survive. In a group situation, the more people can trust each other, the more effectively they will work together. By trusting others, we can share resources, we can divide up the work, and we can give and accept help. In general, by trusting each other, we are able to accomplish mutual goals. We can help each other. That leads us quite nicely into the two different types of trust: interpersonal trust and task-related trust. Interpersonal trust is the belief that the other will not do anything to harm your interests or welfare. That means keeping your confidences and being committed to the relationship. Task-related trust is the belief in someone's ability to do what needs to be done and that they will do it, or what I'll call follow through. Both types of trust are evident in your various relationships, and it's not always a black and white assessment. Let me use my husband as an example. I trust him on most things, but maybe not everything. And there are degrees as well. I know he has my best interests at heart. So there is interpersonal trust. Does that mean he won't occasionally let something slip that we discussed in private? And while I know that he has the ability and the willingness to take our children to their doctor's appointments, I also know that he can lack follow through at times. Consider your working relationships. Do you trust that your coworkers will show up when they are scheduled, that they have the ability and skills to do what needs to be done, and that they will actually do it by the deadline? That would be task-related trust. But you often engage in small talk and sometimes large talk with your coworkers. Can you trust them to keep any privileged information you share private? So, interpersonal trust is present even in task oriented relationships. If your question now is,
how
how
can
can
I
I
increase
increase
the
the
likelihood
likelihood
that
that
others
others
find
find
me
me
trustworthy?
trustworthy? That's
That's
a
a question
question
for
for
another
another
video.
video.
Okay. So as you see, okay, we had a short video on the different levels of trust and the different levels of it. I thought that was really nice to put on because it kind of explained the different levels of trust. Okay. But you can't learn to trust somebody else, or you can't learn the value of trust if you're not trusting yourself. Okay. And so that's mainly what this video is going to really be about, because we have to learn that sometimes we lack trust in ourselves because we've been hurt. Okay. Sometimes it's because we get negative criticism. Uh, um, we've been told so many times by people in our lives how invalidated we are. So then we start to believe those things. And believe it or not, that goes into your trust of yourself. Sometimes, you make mistakes and those people ridicule you for those mistakes that you made. And now you find yourself second judging yourself, questioning yourself. And that's a level of your trust in yourself. Now, I want you to build that trust back up. And I want you to be more confident in yourself because nobody's perfect. We sit here and we judge people, and in turns, we judge ourselves too. And the trust in yourself is so important. It actually plays a vital role in how you show up in your daily life. If you're not trusting yourself, then you can't possibly open up yourself enough to see the world, to perform tasks at work properly, or to even be yourself. You have to have some level of trust in yourself to be free, to let yourself know that, hey, I'm going to make mistakes, but the imperfect, beautiful me that I am is perfect. I may not be perfect as in perfect society wise, but I'm perfect for me. And I love the flaws that I have. And I'm going to celebrate those flaws. I'm going to celebrate all my imperfect parts of me because that's what makes me me. You have to have a level of confidence in yourself that you love the parts of you that people may not see, or the parts that people may not appreciate about you. That's a part of you trusting yourself, trusting and believing that you are who you were designed to be and that you were put here for a purpose. Let me tell you something. When I went into this, I didn't know how far down the rabbit hole I was going to go because, like I said, when I do these topics, I do a lot of research. And when I research, I mean, I really go down into it. I know a lot of y'all have been to Diva's Book Club. And when we went through Diva Book Club, we read this book called by Jay Shetty called 8 Rules of Love. And if anybody got that book, okay, that book was so amazing. And I read that book. Now I've read that book like 6 times, okay? Because I'm telling you, it was things in that book that I didn't realize I needed to know. And the lessons that was in that book was so powerful that it taught me something that I didn't know. And it taught me something that actually played an important part in my life. You know what I'm saying? Some of these rules that he had in this thing, in this book, I was able to relate it to me and my husband, and we were able to do these, these little things because they have little tasks in the books that you're supposed to do. And it made our relationship even better. And I didn't think that was possible because I feel like I have an amazing marriage. I feel like I've met the man that was evenly yoked for me. Like I felt like I've met that person. And I had to trust that in this cycle of in this change of life that I'm doing the right thing. And you're gonna have some times when you gonna get to the points where you need to trust yourself and the ability in yourself to know that you're doing the right things and you're letting the right people come into your life because people come into your life for a reason and a season. Okay, everybody's not meant to be in your life forever, and you have to trust to know when to let these people in and when to let these people go. And that's a very important part. Like I said, I do meditations and I do affirmations, and those are my daily things I do to kind of get myself in the mojo of living my life. And that may work for me and it may not work for somebody else. But for me, I feel like the benefits outweigh the disadvantages. And it doesn't take all day. So when I went down this rabbit hole, like I said, I didn't want to go too deep into it because I do have somebody that's coming that's more advanced than me to tell y'all about it. But I figured I could go ahead and go through what is trust and how to trust yourself. And so that's what this video was basically on. Okay. And so then when I did this, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I wanted to do some affirmations. So when I went looking, lo and behold, Jay Shetty came up in my life again. Okay. He had affirmations for trusting yourself. And I want to share those with you because I felt like, I was like, man, this man is amazing. Okay. And come to find out, this man has so much that I did not know he had. So now I'm down a rabbit hole again with Jay Shetty. But I'm going to show you these affirmations that he had, okay? So bear with me. Let's see. Okay, 7 affirmations for trusting yourself. It says, if you don't trust yourself, if you don't trust yourself, what do you have? Knowing the voice inside of you and believing that voice is everything. This is what happens when self-love covers every inch of your life. You'll always had your honor, your life by trusting yourself. And the first one was when feeling lost. The universe is having a conversation about me daily. Everything that's happening right now, it's not random. It's not accidental. This is my life. It's a divine guide. I am a compass. The place where guidance is transformed into concrete direction. I may not always know what to do, but I know that I am always evolving, always moving forward. I am in a special spot, hopefully for the future, grateful for life, and open to receiving it. Now, that's his first affirmation. His second one was feeling alone. Even if everything is Even if everything I'm feeling says the opposite, I am never alone, not even for 1 second. Sometimes I need to close my eyes. Feel that. That's the energy of the universe at work. It surrounds me, carries me, and reminds me my purpose and worth. Even when I feel lonely, which is a normal part of living a human life, I am never actually alone. I have the power of love on my side. Number 3, when facing a challenge or difficult time. Will bad things happen? Yes. This is out of my control. This is the nature of life. There's a greater plan at work. designed with a purpose that I perhaps cannot yet understand. But even in ragged moments of heartbreak and loss, I know that everything will be okay in the end. In this moment, I am reminding myself to slow down, to breathe, to feel the flow beneath my sole of my feet. I am steady. I trust in my abilities to preserve despite every setback and wrong turn. My soul knows how to handle hard things. It was created to do so. Now, that was number three, and that was really powerful. Number four, when the world says one thing, but the heart says something else. That strange feeling I get when something just isn't right, that empty, uncomfortable space between what someone else says and how I really feel. Those are my good instincts, and they are holy. They want the best for me. The messages they share are important. I must learn to appreciate them when they are coming forward, in whatever way they choose to do so. Striking realization, slowing passing feelings, clouds of doubt I feel in the pit of my stomach. This is the impulsivity of blessings, knee-jerk reactions as miracles. Pushing them aside doesn't serve me. I trust that what my inner voice tells me is being corresponded with the universe, and it knows things I might not yet realize. That one is really powerful. Okay. Number five was when situations require your best. My best is my truest form, the greatest version of myself. In the real is the real me. This doesn't have to be with money, status, or material things. This has to do with character, kindness, and acceptance. The understanding that the truest part of me creates pure, massive impacts through divine international love. Feel that love, that self belief. That's my heart coming forward. This is my superpower. The energy that perpetrates every good thing. I embrace growth. I spread healing and I create solutions. What an amazing thing. Number six, dealing with anxiety. This is not my forever. This is my temporary. Dishonest panic disguised as purpose. And I cannot get through it. Anxiety tells me I'm never going to be good enough. That is a lie. It can't touch me. It can't touch the real me. I'm the truth in the body. With my heart that recognizes my true worth, I choose to step aside from the anxious belief that I am not feeling good or I'm unworthy of love. I am ready to embrace my true, lovable, worthy self. The real me is calm, steady, and more than capable. And number seven, when feeling stuck, my life will always be in motion, even when I feel confused and lost. I am always heading in the direction of something bigger, better, and more beautiful. Every moment prepares me. When I am in the thick of it, I know I can't see clearly. I often can't decipher my situation honestly. This doesn't hold me back in major ways because I realize I need to love myself intellectually. This means being able to look at my life with a clear, calm, and intentional heart. Solutions are never found by mistakes. Guidance is a constant resource that surrounds me. All I have to do is close my eyes, breathe in deeply, and listen. The universe talks back. When love appears, I always say yes. I am the furthest thing from being stuck. And I love that. I'm telling you, I love that. Because I love the way Jay Shetty mind works. Because this man thinks differently. He thinks with intentions. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know about him. He was a monk. Um, and had great insight. Hello, Julius. How are you?
Hey, everybody.
How are you?
I am doing okay.
Well, that's good.
I'm like, I seen the headline, we talking about trust. I'm like, ooh, this is a roundabout moment because I talk about that all the time on Diva's channel.
Yeah. So I was doing I'm doing the first intro into it, which is what is trust and
Mm-hmm.
how to trust yourself. So I don't know if you remember when we was on Diva, we did the book club with Jay Shetty, Eight Rules of Love.
Mm-mm. I don't. I'm not a part of the book club now.
Oh well, I'm gonna need you to get a part of it, okay? Because let me tell you something, that book is amazing. And I think everybody should have a copy of that book. It was called Eight Rules to Love by Jay Shetty. It was amazing. Okay. It
Mm-hmm.
taught us so much in that book. It didn't just teach us about finding love or how to look for love. It taught you how to love yourself. And essentially, I think
It's
that's
like
what.
when Paul says, if you can't love yourself, how the hell can you love somebody else?
Yep. And so I think because we get into a process of this world telling us who we should and shouldn't love and who we should and shouldn't trust, that we
Mm-hmm.
feel like we lost a part of ourselves.
Oh, definitely. Because it's like, for me, um, it's like everyone wants to like overtly impress like the general society, like when it comes to their house and everything else, worried about what their neighbors think. Me personally, if you ain't pleasing me in the bed, if you ain't helping me pay no bills, if you ain't helping me attain my goals, and if you ain't in my immediate village, even like in my immediate village, I don't take some of the things that they say into practice. But the overwhelming point is that if you ain't a part of that, you can't say squat because your house, your aura is all in shambles.
So let me ask you a question, Julius.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know when you want to trust somebody?
When I know when I want to trust somebody, when my mind, body, and soul and gut all agree. Even if it's like 75%, I can let them in. They all have to be in agreement that this person can come on in.
Do you give trust freely?
I used to. And I ain't gonna lie, I used to.
What about now? Do you give it freely?
No, I'm cautious. Very
I'm
cautious.
cautious. Okay. And how does one earn your trust?
They have to show that they mean what they say. Now, they say, what I mean by that is um, they have to, they, the overwhelming thing, they have to not be fake and phony. And for me, going through an experience that I have gone through, I can easily spot that. And if I get the sense that you're fake and phony and that your actions are not corroborating with your words, and even, well, now, after being naive and having my mind, forced to confront the notion of naivety, I go by your actions. Now, if your actions ain't being backed up by your word, you can't tell me nothing. And it's like, for me, once I let people, I've barely even let potential love interest, and I'm talking about guys that I find attractive that I may want to date. Some of them, I can tell you because of the trauma that I've been through, I tossed aside because I just feel like I cannot trust due to that experience that I have gone through that I'm talking about. And it's like if I'm to let you in to my real personal temple, which is my mind, body, and soul, and you jack that up, that's a problem. Because I've been there and I refuse to go back to that place again, you know? And I tell anybody, take your time getting to know somebody. And I call it, and quite frankly, I call dating the interview process. Go through the
Okay.
interview
So
process.
this says how to build trust. Trust may be the most important factor in a relationship, in a successful relationship.
Mm-hmm.
A person trusts another when they feel that they can be vulnerable and everything will be all right. You can build trust in a relationship if you are prepared to make the effort. And building trust requires making commitment to trustworthy behavior.
I can agree with that.
Okay,
It's
then it
like
says
me.
one,
Oh, sorry.
being reliable.
Yes.
Do what you say. One of the most important steps in building foundation of trust is to do what you say you will do. Even if it's the small things, canceling or failing to follow through will create a hairline fracture of untrustworthiness.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, then two is being honest.
Woo.
Oh, honoring your promise. No, two is honoring your promise. Trust requires people being, trust requires people believing you will be
Mm.
dependable in the long term. Thus, when you make someone a promise, you must keep it. Okay, let's scroll on down to three. It's only four of them. Three, be consistent. I
Woo.
love this one.
Mm.
An important part of the definition of reliability is following through on your word. Many
Mm.
times over an extended period, by definition, someone's reliability is someone who you can always depend on and count on. And that's one of mine. Okay, I love it. I
Mm.
love it. I love it. Love it.
Mm. Mm.
Let's see.
It's like they.
This one
I don't know.
says.
I don't know who came up with that formula, but they hitting.
This one says being honest. Tell the truth as much as you can. While there are
Even if
some
it hurts.
situations where telling the whole truth as you see it might not be the most authentic choice, in most
Mm.
cases, honesty really is the best policy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what this other one was. Being open. Volunteer information. When an opportunity to be vague arises, consider whether it would be more accurate to provide more information. It often a good idea to volunteer information to show that you aren't withholding information. And here's an example. In a new one-on-one relationship, one partner might ask the other, "How was your day?" The response might be, "It was all right." This does not build trust because you haven't shared any real information.
Hmm. Hmm.
Display loyalty. Loyalty refers to your willingness to protect others and be there by their side. This applies to both in the presence and the most important in the absence.
Come on. And it's just like,
Okay.
to me, that that is uh like, I'm not talking. I'm not talking about um. This is something I just want to make clear to people. I'm not talking about like that Donald Trump blind loyalty. Cause like nowadays you got to be clear. I'm talking about if I come to you, even if the person didn't do you wrong, and you overhear evidence of that wrong,
Okay,
and
and this last one is showing your integrity.
yeah,
Keeping secrets told to you. Never tell someone's story if that person would not want it to be told.
mm,
This is a betrayal of the trust.
mm. Well, listen, ooh, I don't know what it is. Those were like four hard hitting concepts. And the reason
Mm-hmm.
why I say hard hitting is because it's just basic common sense. And it basically goes back to the saying, treat others how you want to be treated. If you want to be treated with dignity, respect, and grace, you got to treat others with dignity, respect, and grace. And through my experience that I have gone through, believe it or not, I learned, I still unselfishly give my time, I still unselfishly help others. But the backbone that I had to learn how to do is say no and be okay with it.
And this is the book, y'all. I'm telling y'all got to get this book. It's called Eight Rules of Love by Jay Shetty. This
But you
man,
know what? Them concepts can be applied to associations and friendships at the same time.
oh, it was in connection to all of them. It was in not just relationship. This was in work relationships. This was in friendships and everything. It was just building trust.
What
Some of them seem interpersonal because most of the time when we're talking about trust, people are talking about in relationships. Now I haven't even
mm-hmm,
dove into that one yet, okay? Because that one is gonna be a deep one, and I'm gonna have a full panel for that one, okay? The relationship one, because
mm-hmm.
I'm waiting on the expert to come. Because man, when I was talking, let me tell you, the amazing gems that this lady has. Oh my God, when y'all see her, I'm telling you, the trust in the relationships, man.
And it's like it's even when we had the panel just the other night about Kiki Palmer's situation. It's like we got to, and it's like I say, and I hope that the expert brings this up. We got to be able to spot someone who is wearing a mask and get ahead of it, because, and it's like I said that night when we was talking about it. I said, even though it drives me crazy, like when my mom asks for like friends numbers just to make sure like where I'm at. I'm thankful for it at the same time, like situations like that, because it's like you just don't know, especially nowadays. You just don't know.
Well, okay. So I didn't want this video to be live, so I'm gonna close it out with showing y'all this video by Jay Shetty. Okay. And I hope this touches somebody. I just want y'all to know how amazing this man is. Like, I didn't know about him until Diva, so I am so thankful to her.
Listen, we gotta get Diva her royalty check.
Yes, because she found him, baby, and I am so in love.
And like in our minds, she's showing up dead.
So let's see. I'm gonna put this on the full screen, and I'm gonna play it.
She's gonna be like, "Y'all ain't gotta send me nothing." Yes, we do. What you want? You want you some vegetarian barbecue? What is it?
Okay, and let's play this.
When asked what surprised him most about humanity, the Dalai
Okay, what happened?
Lama answered, "We sacrifice our health in order to make wealth. Then we sacrifice our wealth in order to get back our health. We're so anxious about what will happen in the future that we don't enjoy the present. The result being, we don't live in the present or the future. We end up living feeling like we're never going to die, and then die never having truly lived." Ellen Goodman said normal is getting dressed in clothes that you buy for work and driving through traffic in a car that you're still paying for in order to get the job that you need to pay for the clothes and car and a home that's empty all day just so you can afford to live in it. We live in a world where daydreams are more common than dream jobs, where money clouds our search for meaning. In search for profit, we sacrifice our quest for purpose, and in the pursuit of those paychecks, we give up our passion. We're completely rooted to our routines. We're plagued by indecision and lack of vision. They say that the most powerful prison is one when you don't even know that you're locked up. See, the suits are our uniforms, our cufflinks are the handcuffs, our ties are the chains, our bosses like the guard, and well, our cubicles are our cells. And now I know why they call it the glass ceiling, because it shatters our dreams. The only thing we excel at is Microsoft. Now that's a PowerPoint. You know what it's like. We spend the whole day trying to get our work on time, but then spend all of our time thinking about work. We wish our out of office could be permanent. We wish that our inbox would always remain empty. Our LinkedIn resumes are more interesting than our actual jobs. Our profile pictures are the happiest we've been in a long time. We live for the weekend, but then end up feeling weak, clockwork and monotony. But honestly, could Mondays be more meaningful? Could Tuesdays be less torture? Could Wednesdays be more worth it? Could Thursdays be more transformative? Could Fridays be more fulfilling? We count down the next 15 weeks, knowing that there's another 15 years. We count down to the next escape, knowing that there really isn't one. Because even when we're away from our desks, our minds are still there with the checklists in our heads. We stuff ourselves into our work clothes, then our buses, then the cars, then the trains, and then our offices, only to wait 5 days to live again. We don't have time to eat dinner together, so we end up eating out of takeaway boxes, not realizing that the TV box takes away from our relationships. We eat on the go, meet on the go, we even sleep on the go, and then wonder why everyone cheats on the go. We're told it's normal to have a 9 to 5. I mean, actually, sorry, it's a 9 to 9. And it's fine if you don't get enough time with the person you love it took you so long to find. It's normal to work late nights for that next holiday. We work 11 months in a row for 1 month of leave with pay. Hey, who came up with that? It's not normal. We have to reclaim our lives because right now we can all barely survive. And because when he comes late home from work, she says, you work so hard for a job that would replace you tomorrow if you drop dead. And he says, I don't have time for this right now. And then she says, nothing ever changes. We force ourselves out of bed to live the same day again and again and call it a life. Imagine this for a moment. What if Oprah listened to her haters and doubters? What if Steve Jobs settled for a real job? What if The Rock never broke through depression? What if Ellen never overcame the bullying? Imagine a world where everyone lived their passion. We'd be better people. We'd be better partners. We'd be better parents. See, I've never seen a strong person with an easy past. We all have a passion. We all have a genius inside us. We have that potential. I know that we've all been in that position, feeling confused and seriously lacking mission. But then I ask myself, at the end of my life, what will I regret? And the answer is clear. The pain of regret far outweighs the pain of risk. So next time you're going through challenges, just remember this. A winner is just a loser who tried one more time. All you need is one person to say yes. One moment can change everything. There are decades where nothing happens, and there are days where decades happen. A year from now, you will have wished you started today.
And I thought that was powerful to end on, y'all. I really did.
Ooh, listen, I was shouting through some of it because, ooh, listen.
But that's Jay Shetty. And I thought it was really amazing. I wanted to end it on a good note. Here's the thing, people. Trust yourself.
Amen.
Trust that you are who you were meant to be.
Come on.
You are the person that you're meant to be. Trust in you.
Ma'am.
Believe in yourself, okay? Don't let anybody just walk in, and don't give away your trust so easily. Build those relationships. Let them show you that they're trustworthy before you put these people in your life.
Yes. Yes.
You are worthy of great things in this world, and I'm praying that all of you get something amazing out of the content. Like I said, I got an expert that's going to come on and talk about this even more and get into the relationships and the inabilities to trust in the relationship and why we have those. And I'm going to try to get it scheduled as soon as possible. I'm not sure on my next video yet, but I will keep you updated on it. It will always be something. I still got to get through some of these November awarenesses that I have put up. And I'm going to get on that as well. So y'all just keep looking out. You keep coming. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm praying that everybody has a healthy and blessed Sunday. Remember that God loves you and so do I. Y'all have an amazing night. Thank you, Julius.
You're welcome, honey. Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, y'all.